Hi, welcome to Finish Your Divorce Fridays. I am Claudia Brown Coulter with Pivotal Peace. I'm your go-to mediator for navigating divorce while parenting children with special needs. I'm also a legal document assistant, LDA, based in the greater Los Angeles area. So let's talk about how long does the divorce process take in California? Okay, 6 months and 1 day. That's minimum. That 6-month clock doesn't start until your spouse is served. Now, it doesn't mean that it's going to be done in 6 months, and it also doesn't mean that you need to be working on it for 6 months straight. Okay, so we know how long it takes. One of the things I like about working in LA is you can send your paperwork in once you meet the necessary timelines. And then the court can future stamp that date of divorce. So you're waiting for that calendar date, but all of the other work of divorce is already done. So just because it takes 6 months and 1 day minimum in California doesn't mean you can't finish the process sooner. And that's the important part. You have no control over the court. You have no control over the state laws of how long you have to wait, a minimum waiting period. And you have no control over how quickly a court can process your documents. But you do have control over how long it takes you to work through the documents and to reach a settlement. Some of the things that can extend divorce: maybe your case is a little more complex. Maybe your spouse is hiding funds. They're refusing to mediate. They're not being open and honest. Maybe you have to go get an attorney and you feel like, I have to go to trial. I have to have a judge decide this because this stuff is shady and I'm not okay with that. Maybe you're like, yeah, and now I have to wait forever because I can't get on the court's calendar. Or we finally got on the court's calendar and my spouse asked to reschedule the hearing, so now we have to wait another 6 months. That happens more than you want to know. That happens a lot. Sometimes documentation isn't clear. Sometimes there's an error and the court will send back the paperwork. That's not really a big deal. You got to turn it around and get it back in. You want to get your paperwork done correctly the first time, but if the court changes a rule, if there is a clerical error or something like that, then you just have to get that turned back around and sent back into the court. Depending on your county, especially if your county is taking a long time, like Santa Clara or Contra Costa County, then you want to let them know, hey, I already submitted this. I need to get back to my place in line. I don't need to start at the end. Okay. And then how can you get this done sooner? How can you get this done faster? Be prepared. Get your documents ready. If you're thinking about divorce, look at your mail. Did a bank statement just come? Pull it over, set it to the side. Did a mortgage statement come? Pull it over, put it to the side. Begin to gather documents that you might need for your financial disclosures as they come through the mail. Do you know where your passport is? Do you know where your social security card number, is? All of those things. Do you have your birth certificate? Begin to collect these items so when it comes time to fill out your financial disclosures, to fill out the paperwork for your divorce, you have everything within your reach. That is going to save you time. A little planning beforehand is going to save you a lot of time on the back end. Be organized. Put calendar reminders. Oh, I've got to talk to the LDA on this day. Or, oh, I have to make sure I get these signed and dated before I go out of town. Or let me make sure I just check my email and get everything uploaded for Claudia. Those types of things. Just be organized. Don't miss those emails. Make sure that they don't go to spam. If you need to sign your documents via MyCase, make sure that MyCase is not going into your spam folder. Check your spam regularly so you're not missing valuable emails about updating your forms. That costs you time. I just got an email the other day. Oh, I didn't see this email. I mean, it was a few weeks. I didn't see this email from you. I've got to make sure I don't miss any more. Yeah, because you just lost a couple of weeks of time because for some reason, the email filtered me out and then your disclosures are not updated. So you want to be checking on that. Communicate. clearly. Clearly with your spouse. Don't talk in riddles. You don't have to tell them everything. You don't have to tell them your deepest hopes and fears and desires. But you need to speak pretty openly. Don't speak in code, especially when you go to mediation. Make a proposal. Be ready to talk turkey and negotiate with them. Stay flexible. Stay flexible. If your spouse is going to file for a divorce and you don't want it, they're going to get it one way or the other. It's either going to take a long time because you've decided to drag your feet and you don't want to do this, or it's going to go relatively quickly. Either way, it's going to happen. So it can cost a lot less stress, a lot less time, a lot less money if you go ahead and cooperate anyway. So you don't need to appear in court. So you don't have to have the judge telling you, you got to do this paperwork. Just get it done anyway. Complete those financial disclosures anyway. Even if you don't want the divorce, even if you don't respond to the divorce, the Los Angeles County requires that you file your financial disclosures. So get those filed and done so that you can move on to the step 3, get it settled. You're done. It's time to find a new love. It's time to love yourself. It's time to start a new life. All right. So just because it takes 6 months and 1 day in California doesn't mean it can't take longer, but it doesn't mean the paperwork portion needs to take 6 months. You can work on it pretty quickly. If you have questions, please leave them in the chat below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share this, and I'll see you soon. Thanks a lot.